Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Let's talk about SKANDAMATA, the fifth day of Chaitra Navratri. This is fifth stage of core enlightenment and something which can lead us to universal consciousness. Let me start with the first truth which I've been talking in the last since Chaitra Navratri, that let's start with truth. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that divine truth with which the entire universe is represented within me. And that's what I've written in English. We human beings are the microcosmic representation of macrocosmic universe. This is internationally accepted that human beings are the best. That's the one point which I make it very clear. And to understand that, we should understand truth first. Satya me vijayate. Satya will always win. And Om is Sat, and Sat is Brahman, Satya is God, everything is ultimately in Satya alone. So, first truth, which is very important for anyone to become a perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy person, is become truthful completely. From Asatya to Satya level has to be taken care of. At the same time, a statement that man, the human beings, are created as the image of nature is well established internationally. Now I have shown the picture of the spiral galaxy from which solar system is part, and we are part of that earth, and we are on the earth. So we are connected with earth, we are connected with the solar system, we are connected with spiral galaxy. Up to that, I make it very clear, there are 10.344 spirals with which go. Whatever the world might talk about 11 stages of dimensions, I do believe 10.3441 and are the perfect spiral stages with the divine mathematics as an integral part of Divyank alone. 22 by 21 to the power of 10.344 equivalent to 1.618034 is the divine mathematics of Divyank, with which the perfect universe of at least spiral galaxy is very well established and known, and once we are in tune with that, we can give the world impeccable wisdom of the highest order. That is what I'm talking about through my writing, with my research, my education from the day one. Now come to the question is, if you want to be very intelligent, that means all our indriya, all senses should be perfect, all the five senses will be as perfect, even at 70, 80, 90, 100. We should see the world without a glasses, hear the world clearly as if you are like a bird. You are completely in tune with this five senses. Then higher five senses will make you clairvoyant, have divya drishti, and take you to the higher levels of consciousness. And from that, emergence of man, indriya to man, is the second stage, which is most important. Cleaning the mind with alcohol, drugs is not my way of spiritual evolution. Mind is the instrument to understand the impeccable wisdom completely. So we should be totally free to analyze things, eliminate all the defects, and through neti reach the level of intelligence which is called buddhi, intuition, and from that go to the next level of intuition, mahat, which is the universal consciousness. Then go to chetana, awareness of the universal consciousness, truthfully, honestly, with non-violent approach, and only then you can be in tune with your antar atma, which is Aditi in my opinion, and that is what I have used to give the world of Divyank from the day one. At least from 2015 I have reached, and now I am trying to show everything with Divyank as the perfect one. Every other knowledge of mathematics is a man-made concept. Physics, chemistry, and all the sciences are like that. To understand 64 arts, you got to understand Divyank, and that will resolve all the issues. You will have a uniform syllabus for everyone in the world, and that can be done by every human being, not Shibhushan Sharma alone. We are all made in the same design, but we have to work towards that with the devotion, and conscientious work can give us that. Nothing happens with Karma Yoga. That's what Karmanyavadikare Mafli. We should work not with an objective of money, name, fame at all. We should work to reach the impeccable wisdom of Devyank and then share with the world without worrying about any prosperity in money, name, fame, otherwise. Never get into anything which can create a chakra view to make us get bonded with material things. There will not be moksha, freedom thereafter. So, untruth to truth, mrityu to amritya is also a part of it. Asatya to satya, mrityu to mrityu, tamas to enlightenment. These are the three statements of Mahayajnavalkya which I think have made me come. Then Khandata to Akhandata has made me rise even higher. And that's the reason I say, if we understand experience within our body, we realize that human brain is the most evolved, and particularly the three outer layers of neocortex are the best thing found only in human beings. And unfortunately, all the neuroscientists of the world, scientists of the world, they do not even know the functions of this. Let's understand that part first. Now, thus comes the question. The three outer layers of neocortex work as an antenna to Akash Kosh, where all the universal consciousness is designed and put, past, present, future in the recorded. And that ionosphere layer of Akash Kosh, which is Schumann resonance field, has a frequency of 7.83, and that is what I am talking about. Anyone who can produce 7.83 frequency throughout the brain with all the five senses open, with full alertness, can understand the universal consciousness, and that is the truth which I am talking about. And to show that, this is a particular EEG of mine which was taken in Chettinad, which shows 8 Hz alpha frequency throughout the brain. And let me say, record shows only 18, 16, but all the 64 arts part of the brain I have checked, and it's a peak frequency of 8 Hz alone throughout, with eyes open, ears open, all the senses open, with awareness, with all the people around me. Nothing in isolated. As I live in the world, I have 8 Hz frequency, all the 64 parts of the brain, which is unique, done for the first time in the history of mankind. Maybe that is also a reason that I've been able to give Divyank for the first time in 2015, but after 60 years of research to find impeccable wisdom. Now, having done that, that is a statement which I am making through Akhand Vidyashram. And that is what I talk about divine mathematics, and start from Shunya, that is Atma, and Divyank, and that is what I have seen. And in the light of that, we are going to see Goddess Durga and Mahishasura's story as such found in Purana. Mahishasura is a buffalo demon. He could not be killed by anyone other than a female. Maybe he thought no male person should kill him because he thinks males are perfectly strong and females are not. That was his undervaluation. And for me, according to Divyank, the dynamic part of Shakti, female, is 61.8034, whereas male is only 38.1966%, almost half of that. Male are mathematic, logical, dominant, left side brain, where the females are the right side, multi-dimensional. They can do multi-works at home single-handedly, which male cannot do. And I, on my own, have learned to take care of my everything. I live alone, do all the works of male and female by myself. No one is permitted to even come to my house or my villa as such to spend time with me. That's it. And because once I am trying to complete 100%, I am able to understand this. And Mahishasura, as a result, started killing everybody, including gods, on the earth, Antariksh, as well as heavens. He became a big terrorist. That's the time everybody approached Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh to create a goddess Durga to kill Mahishasura. When she was created, and I was under the impression till recently that Durga has 8 arms, and Mata Vaishno Devi has 8 arms. But now I realize actually Durga was created with 18 arms, not 8 arms. Thanks to one of my students who brought the picture and directly, and then intuition told me this is the truth and this is what I should present this particular Chaitra Navratri. And that is the first divine creation from which everything has started. Now we will go to that particular stage. Now see this particular picture which I talked about. Mahishasura you can see being killed. You can see the lion, the big king of forest kingdom, and also Mata goddess Durga as 18 arms killing Mahishasura. This is a beautiful picture. Whosoever artist has done a wonderful job. Thanks to Indian artists who have been able to show all the qualities of gods and goddesses of nature beautifully in India. That kind of thing I have not seen anywhere in the part of the world. So that's why artists of India particularly make the pictures of gods and goddesses a different thing, are full of wisdom. This is one of the pictures. Hats off to the artist. I do not know. Then this is a temple of Chamundeshwari in Mysore. You can see 7 levels there, but each side you can see 10 pillars. And this is again a marvelous piece of architect showing the same thing in this, which I would like to show you as we proceed. And this is a picture which is there in Chamundeshwari, which is that in temple in Mysore, shown with 18 arms, and that is it. And she is the form of Durga who killed Chanda and Munda and other like Raktavij and Mahishasura. As such, all the demons kill. And for that matter, Raktavij, every drop could produce another Raktavij like a cloning. So she collected the blood and drank, and that form became Kali. And to control Kali with the male dominant qualities, Lord Shiva had to lie down and she had to sit, and Lord Shiva could dilute Kali only, and that's it. That is what I do feel. That is the beauty of science found in Vedas, Upanishads, and scriptures of Akhand Bharat. Hats off to them, and because of that conception, I've been able to see the world Divyang. It comes from ancient Indian Akhand Bharat scriptures, Ved, Upanishads, and other scriptures. That's hats off to that. And no, it is not man-made concept. It is revealed to me by my Antaratma, which is Aditi, called Kundalini or Antaratma, and also Durga, Gayatri, Adi Prashakti, and Mata Vaishno Devi as such. Now this particular picture I am going to show in this. You can see 7 periods are the 7 levels of temple. Then 18 arms, 18 groups. So this science beauty of chemistry, spiritual wisdom is found in the temple, and the picture alone shows how beautiful is the ancient Indian pictures and world accepted periodic table, both identical. And other things also I have spoken, we will speak as we proceed. Next, this is a picture of Adi Parashakti, another picture, another great artist, which has shown she is the divine mother of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. But in the picture in the center and the heart, you can see 9 petals up and 9 petals down. That means there are 18 arms here again. I think that's again beautiful thing. So she is the one who created Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh or Dattatreya as such. And 22 by 21, the first number of Divyang is Brahma. 10 stages of development are Vishnu, Dasavatars, and last 3.34419 are the moksha of Lord Shiva. When 3 put together as Dattatreya is the creation with Adi Parashakti, is talking about ancient Indian wisdom in a very symbolic representation, and that is a message in Sanskrit they wanted to show. And that way I do find Sanskrit language is a divine language. It is a phonetic sound called Shruti, the heard by Brahmins from universal consciousness and given the world in a highly classified, and that there is 7 stages of Sanskrit through of 52 akshara are divided. You are going to see that also as we move on. Now, the voice of silence which I am talking about has shown me for the first time, for which Mata Vaishno Devi, that after everything was killed, the goddess only wanted to get married to Vishnu. And he said, I cannot get married to you. You take birth in human form and do tapasya in human form and then evolve to the stage. Divinities do not get married. You have to take form in human form, male or female, and then learn to do tapasya to experience the divinity within you. Only then you can raise yourself to higher levels of consciousness. So you got to get married to whichever form after you take birth as Vaishnavi in Kanyakumari, and then she moved on to Trikuta mountain where I was born, and then she is there, and that is where I said picture is of 8 arms. So she represents Bhuta or Agni Bhuta and oxygen, but I was made to understand in when I was Shiva, she is meditating to reach Goddess Gayatri with 10 arms. So and I am sitting in her lap, and then she is giving me the wisdom, and I am trying to explain that in the light of my understanding of maths, physics, chemistry and all the sciences of 64, so that there is a integrated education. That's why I say Khand to Akhandata. That is the fourth thing which I talk about beside 3 states of Yajnavalkya. Then come to this is Kanyakumari is the last part of Akhand Bharat, and Trikuta is more or less at the end part of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. So literally at the portion of Bharat from between Sindhu river and north, east and west and Himalayas and the 3 oceans. This is the land which in I belong, and this land has got all the wisdom. This is a land of Brahmins have given the world wisdom, and this is land will always give the world wisdom thereafter. And I am very, very clear. People born Brahmins here who are perfectly vegetarian, do not drink, smoke or do take drugs at all, who are in pure, truthful, honest otherwise, are the one who can be in universal consciousness. That's a message which I am giving to the world as such. Now come to the question of 3 mountains which is there in my birthplace of Katra. Trikuta mountain is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Inside the temple you have a female temple with Saraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakali, and she exactly like Dattatreya, which you are going to see in the next picture. This is a picture I understand which I have designed in 1997 to show Mata Vaishno Devi is like that, and that is what every human being can have. Lord Brahma within, Lord Vishnu within, Lord Shiva within. Only as Dattatreya we can be perfect human beings, and this is both males and females put together. If the males and females are Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, and male with the Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, when they get together as consorts, so literally Satyavan Savitri combination can do wonders, and I have the privilege of experiencing both Satyavan and Savitri within me with all the guidance I've learned from all the females which are like my mothers, my sisters, my daughters. And they have the one which given me the wisdom to think rationally within the body, and I am grateful to all the females whom I have known personally, who have been my guides as my mothers, as my sisters, as my daughters, and leave it at that. Now the come to question of Aitreya Upanishad is the first thing which made me realize that the human being which was created as Lok Palan for the world had only 8 divinities within that. That means 8 senses, not 5 senses alone. Beside the 5 senses, there is the mind, there is the intelligence, there is a higher consciousness. So that is what is very beautifully described in Aitreya Upanishad, which is a reflection of Rig Veda as well as periodic table as such. So maybe that has clarity required for me to know that is it. Similarly in periodic table also, right up to calcium, the whole thing revolves out as 8 only, octagonal part only. That is also something you can see right up to calcium. Periodic table is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 only. Beautiful design. We will see as we go to the 9th stage or 10th stage at a later date. Now, as I told you, my dwelling consciousness, Aditi, she is the hydrogen, which is Aditya, made at the helium-4 with 2 proton, 2 electron, 2 neutron, and that is what my Antaratma has given me the experience of within body, and that is what Vedas talk about. Daksha is the king, and mother and daughter of Daksha is Aditi alone. But in Upanishad, it is Aditya whose mother and daughter I have already explained. So that is what made me realize, unless until we come to hydrogen helium, the first periodic table, only then we can see the beauty of Surya, external world, and Aditi within me to understand myself very, very well. I have done that, I have explained. Now there are 7 pillars of wisdom which I am talking about. And here again, I start with Satya. Asatya to Satya is the first stage. Adharma to Dharma is the. These two are connected with Advaita philosophy. I am Jivatma and Paramatma one. Has to be Satyavadi, has to have Dharma. Only that person can evolve. That is the second stage. I talk of devotion toward divinity is more important. That is in Advaita philosophy. I go to the third stage, revealing Tret Paravidya, where I say Jivatma, Shibhushan Sharma, Antaratma, Aditi, and Paramatma, the universal consciousness. Once all the three you are connected, only then you know the world as such. And all your arthik nitis, economics, all your karma should be such a way with dharma, satya, and devotion that you will get moksha as such. Man, that is what Maharishi Yajnavalkya is talking about. Mrityu to Amrita state. Amrita state means it is not the body is not going to die. Even today I talk so high about Maharishi Yajnavalkya because his language which he explained in Sanskrit about Yajurved, in Brihad Upanishad and many other things and mathematics and otherwise is made him immortal. And that's what I say. We one who are in tune with you, we will become immortal. That's moksha. And that is with living also we should free from all the constraints and restraints. But we leave behind the image of the wisdom which the world will follow thereafter. These are the 3 stages which I have spoken about. Then after reaching that experience within you, then you go from philosophy to Gyan, which is a stage very clearly where all the philosophies are there. Then take the philosophy to the scientific level to experience the unity in conscientiousness, which is the 5th state. From that, take it to the next stage, absolute wisdom with no differences at all, no relativity. That is 6th stage. And then take it to divine mathematics, Ganit Vidya, which I am talking about, Divyank, is the Ganit Vidya. It's a total integration, one mathematics, one symbol, one representation, and entire thing is only that. And that is what you can see the symbols around. And Divyank is a representation of that, and all the symbols are the perfect in every way. That's the one that made me realize this is not 7 chakras in the body. There are 10.344 chakras which are connected with the autonomic nervous system, endocrine system. Once they are completely tuned, only then I can be healthy, wealthy, wise and happy. Otherwise, not at all possible. Now, Shalputri is the first stage of Chaitra Navratri, and as the first stage, when mind is completely controlled, everything is perfect, only then Antaratma arises. And that is very clear, which Patanjali says very clear. Ashtang Yoga is only to control the mind without drugs, but fluctuation should be there so that you are perfect. Only perfect human being can experience the voice of silence of Antaratma. So that is Vijnanam right up to 8th stage. That is where Aditi or Kundalini or Antaratma rises. That's very clear in Shailputri. She is the one who has realized Antaratma. As such, evolution starts. And this is the picture, that is why I call it first sprouting, first Ankur. That is Patanjali Yoga Sutra is talking about Ankur, the first one. And then things move up. And then raising of the solar consciousness within the body and outside is what Shailputri. Shailputri means excellent girl. Saputri. Shailputri is Saputri, not Kaputri, not a bad. That is a daughter. Then it's connected with Muladhara Chakra, and the phonetic sound is Lam, and 4 letters of Sanskrit aksharas are lower. That's the lower picture is done by me. Upper one is Satchakra Nirupana. Now I am showing as a scientist that both the two chains of parasympathetic chain, paravertebral, have got 22 plus 20 plus 145 ganglion, and they come from 28 nerves, and that is again deviant ratio alone. This is something which I talked about it from my PhD work, and from my experience in Muladhara is like that only. And then I have given this particular thing about this, and that was the voice of silence, and this all starts from Muladhara itself. Once you come to Muladhara, when it raises up, you become Shailputri. That is the first step, and that's why you have learned all the 3 things of Maharishi Yajnavalkya and go to Khandata thereafter. Then she is connected with earth element, and that is where I am going to talk about it. Navratri is also like Navagraha. In Navagraha you have Rahu head, and Rahu head is a Math, Bhumi, earth element, and that is what it is there. This Rahu's head is earth, which is not found as earth in Navagraha. So earth has been shown as that. This is one clarity. And then in evolution, in Dasavatara, it's a Matsya to start with. That's the first stage of creation. You can see the picture from Akhand itself. Then you can see the picture how it starts. All the vertebrates start from fish. This is something which even Darwin talked about it, and I clear it. First stage of development is like a fish with the 3 states, exactly like a fish, and I think that is amazing. Now come to the question. As you can see, that fish right at the bottom is a picture which I had designed for my first book, Akhand and Essence of Universal Consciousness. Has made me realize this is the first stage. Then come to the same stage of Brahmacharini. That does not mean asexual. Brahmacharini is the one who has all the qualities of a perfect female. Like a brahmachar does not mean asexual. Mean they're great characters. They understand the concept very clearly. They know the beauty that Bhumi Puja is required, because whatever we take from earth is one of the first debts we have to do, Bhumi. Second thing is we have come from here ancestors. So all the divinities, our fathers, grandfathers are the one, and that is ancient descendant has to be done to leave behind, get married honestly, have children, the generation should go on, is the second debt which is required to pay respect to earth. And only a perfect woman, perfect man together form the perfect couple. They can produce perfect children for the world to have impeccable. That is Brahmachari. She is the divine mother, is the first stage of, second stage of procreation from Shailputri to this is full movement when Kanya becomes a woman and man becomes as such. Then they should move on to produce the family of highest order, and that is what ancestors also talk about it. It is not asexual, it is perfectly in tune with each other like Satyavan and Savitri together to produce new world. Home is an experience, and only perfect brahmachari, perfect brahmachari together makes a perfect couple. They are consorts. Now in this particular picture I make it very clear. First one was sympathetic system put together as such as an autonomic nervous system with apana prana. Now the sacral parasympathetic system is related, connected with reproduction with males and females, is what brahmachari is all about. Then next stage, as you have lam, you have a worm. In 4 you have 6 petals, and this is a picture which goes to next 4 to 6. From lam to worm is the stage which Vama Marg is the one where husband and wife put together as a union couple move on to produce generation of wisdom for the world to have Lok Palan. Now the planet is required here is a Venus which is Shukran, and picture is a Shukracharya. It is a Friday, it is a Venus, and this is the love creation. planet as such is the second stage. First one is Bhumi, Earth. This is planet, and we are moving from Earth to next in the picture is Venus alone. Now you're going to see another thing, part of Navratri and Navagraha merging together. And fish, stew, kurma, a tortoise is used for churning of ocean where Meru mountain is collected. And this is again with Chakra Navratri also talks about it. I also talk about it. And Meru mountain also is like that. From that only vertebral column is Meru mountain. When Ida, Pingala and Sushma put together do the churning, that's where you experience all the beauty of inner consciousness as such. I think that is also a beautiful experience. You have to experience the divinity within the body to experience Divyank, otherwise not at all possible. All the knowledge of different books on Tantra, this and that is defective. No one has experience, but they are writing to entertain people with music, with the kind of information which is defective. No wonder everybody is defective and fighting with each other in the name of religion, another thing. We have to become a spiritual scientist where everybody talks of uniform, everyone, only then we can have world peace for everybody, and that is what Khand Vidyashran's prime objective. Now in this particular picture, the second part, same Om's front part, like a yellow thing, is like Kurma alone. That's it. Now I am showing the sacral sympathetic system. There are 5 vertebrae, out of which there are 3 nerves on each side, that is 6, which produce energy for 5 organs of the one which are connected with procreation, is the beautiful work in Brahmacharani. Now this is the one which made me realize that all the knowledge of female menstrual cycle which is given to the world, everyone other than what Shibhushan Sharma talks about with the help of Divyank is imperfect, and this is the perfect one, and starts 3 days before bleeding stage. I have already spoken, you can detail it, or we are going to see it again as we move on. Then Chandraghanta is the third stage of divine fire. First one is the Bhumi, the solid element. Second is the water. Now we have come to Agni Bhuta. That is the third stage of 8 stages we are going to talk about it. That is the third stage of spiritual evolution. And that's the stage of the fire element. You can see her picture as such. This. Now next, what we have 4 petals, 6 petals, now you have 10 petals. This is Nabhi Chakra, which I have talked about it. 10 aksharas of Sanskrit, 4, 6 and 10, you have got to 20. You have the triangle, which is again very important part of spiritual evolution as such. Now comes to the question of the moon. Here Chandra means moon. So the moon is the next one in the line to talk. And this is also clarity I got it after seeing this concept. Chandra is the moon in the third thing, which is there in Navagraha also and Navratri also. And that is the mind which I talk about it. And that's the picture. You have to control this, only then you reach to the next level of consciousness. We have moved from awareness to the mind. Right here the mind should be the one which will be perfect, not killed through drugs or any form at all. Should make the mind be very powerful. Only powerful mind can understand the universal consciousness. That's what I'm talking about. Now there comes to the third stage of Chandra. As far as Vishnu Avatar is called the Varaha, the wild boar, which saved the life from ocean itself. And Bhugol means earth is round, his goal was already explained. But look at the head of Varaha, you're going to see in my picture. Now in this picture, the blue part is a trident like, exactly the way Varaha is. I think that shows. You have seen the snake, you have seen fish, you have seen kurma, you have seen Varaha. You can also see eagle right in the middle with the wings, how mind flies. So mind flying is also part here as such. Now I am bringing a picture of Vijayadashmi into the picture at that stage because Sri Ram is connected with this. This third sound is Ram, and Ram could not kill even Ravan at all. Every time he tried to control, he would fall and revive again. And finally Ravan's brother Vishish told Rama, unless you attack navel Navi Chakra, you cannot kill Ravan at all. Vibhishan's statement made Rama attack Ravan on the navel, and as a result he was killed. Is there impeccable dictionary as such? Or there is something story or there wisdom? Let me explain that with the next picture. Now in this picture I say adrenal gland is an emergency gland, survival gland, and it is adrenal gland which has got three cortical layers and one last sympathetic as medulla. The first layer contains mineralocorticoids, that means water and minerals are maintained very well. Second one gives you glucose, which is essential for homeostasis. Third one gives you testosterone and estrogen, which is required for perfect health. All the three steroids should be put together. They flow from outside inside and then go to the internal medulla, which can produce catecholamines as sympathetic as the last result to save us. And that's the reason Ravan could not be killed, because he had his perfect and will make sure homeostasis is not at all attached. So hats off to that wisdom of Ramayana period that I am able to show, and this is third stage itself. Now come to the fourth stage of Kushmanda. It's again, as I told you in Muladhara, it is Apana Prana which throws dirt out. Now Samana Prana is what in the fourth stage, that means digestion is important. Again, digestive system is independent of nervous system as a seventh layer which nobody has ever spoken about, but Samana Prana and this particular has made me realize that will make sure that even if you are unconsciousness, digestion should go on. Water, nutrients and all the things required for homeostasis is given very well by fourth level itself. That's the fourth level of spiritual evolution. I think I have experienced it and I am able to say in the light of anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. This is a picture you can see in her house, Amrit in the middle and also water. That means you have come to the Agni stage, that this is what is going to save you, make you immortal. So for immortal you should have perfect digestive system so that all what required for human survival are maintained very well in digestive system itself. I think that is beautiful. Now come to the stage of Manipura, is also got 10. It is same thing like Nabi. I'll not go into details of that, but the phonetics is wrong. So again, now planet here is Mercury, is the next stage which is close to the sun and is a neutral thing. It has neither male or female, it's a representation. You again do not become male or female, you become neutral, and that is what Navagraha also talk about. That is also something which goes higher. And here you can see the picture of Buddhan only. Wednesday, Mercury is a neutral planet. Come to the stage of next, SKANDAMATA, the mother of Kartik with 6 heads. This is a fifth level of spiritual evolution which I am talking about. Now let's go to the picture of SKANDAMATA. As you can see, 6-head Kartik sitting in her lap. That means once you come to this particular stage, you come to much higher levels of consciousness. And this 6 is not without any reason, and these 6 represent carbon as such. Let me tell you, at this stage carbon becomes important, carbon dioxide becomes important, and oxygen becomes important. And I think that is also very symbolically for me, you have come to carbon level at this particular stage, at the 5th level of SKANDAMATA itself. I think which is symbolic representation, carbon has got 6 electrons, 6 protons. Put it that and let's enjoy it. Now we come to the stage of Nitra. It is 12 petals, but Yam is the sound right in the middle. But if you see in the center, you have Yam, then you have 6 things around and you have 6 petals. So that means Skand is there in this particular picture of Sat Chakra also. You can say the same thing in Anahata Chakra which I have created with again 6 and 12, 24 and 48 and 96 is the whole mantra shastra is connected with the heart, chest, and both heart and lungs give you the oxygen, give you the conscience, give you the prana to stay alive, to be perfectly healthy. You need water, electricity, but you also need oxygen. Without oxygen, you'll be dead and gone. So 8th as well as 6th become very important in SKANDAMATA's cases. I think that is where I realized how beautiful are these symbols and how beautiful is the knowledge, how beautiful you experience that within you, how aerobic exercises give you fantastic energy. But anaerobic is without oxygen can also give you. But aerobic will give you pyruvic acid, anaerobic will give you lactic acid, but in the heart it is oxygen which with the beta oxidation takes fatty acid too. Without pyruvic acid and lactic acid, as a result there is no pyruvic acid, there is no pain, heart can go on completely again, because here oxygen uses fatty acid through beta oxidation to produce more ATP than you get from carbohydrates or proteins as such. That is also knowledge I realize how beautiful is the heart, how is aerobic oxygenation of the heart from fatty acids without lactic acid and pyruvic acid is amazing knowledge which you have to experience. This can be experienced only a truthful person, non-violent person who is perfect in every way, and that is important which I am talking about. Now come to the stage, we take it to the next stage. This is connected with Surya, Aditya, the teacher of the world. So once you come to this stage, you know the external world. Sun is the best teacher and Aditi is the third teacher, and this is what Sunday is all about. You sent Sunday, you have seen the other 5 days already as such. I think that is the amazing part, one by one. Now come to the last picture. Again, Ida, Pingla, Sushmana, all the information. I'll not go into details of it. I think is enough one by one. Maybe next stage we will go on. Maybe on the 10th day after Navagraha, we will have a more comprehensive picture as such for the world to understand the beauty of Navratri, Navagraha, and 12 Rashis are zodiac signs, and astronomy, astrology, mathematically one, and why there are 7 days, why there are 7 days consistently in the west and north together, why there is uniformity. You are going to see that one by one and should be enlightened. That is the wisdom we have to see, the perfect of the entire universe which in it. That is what I am talking about. It is not Indian or Western. It is the one which is perfect which I am talking about. Whichever source is come, let us be honest about it. Thank you very much.